Well, Dave, beautiful day in downtown Chemainus. I like to think of this as the heart of Chemainus. Chemainus Public Market right behind us. Beautiful Saturday morning. Lots of people visiting, lots of local people in for their ice cream and treats, and great place to have a visit.
Sure is.
So we're here, and I see in our in the background here a little car. Tell me a little bit about that car. And
well, Warren has been gracious enough to let me bring my little car down here. So this is a 23-year-old Neighbourhood Electric Vehicle. It was built in Kelowna. Once upon a time, British Columbia was the NEV capital of Canada, and we'd like to bring it back once again. This car, lead-acid batteries, is ready to be traded in. So we've got it out here today. We're publicly displaying it for our people here to see. And let's talk about what we could trade this car in for.
yeah, well, let's if I can just back you up a little bit. You mentioned that once upon a time, BC was a leader in this field. What happened?
We're not sure, but we were, I would say this car was 20 years ahead of its time. And now here we are back again. BC's got a chance to take that lead, and that's what we're here all about. And we'd like to start right here in Little Chemainus and do it for all of Canada, really.
So what's it going to take to make that happen?
Well, there's a number of these cars that are out on the market right now. So let's start with the cars, and then we'll go back to the logistics on getting there. So I'm going to start with, this is a General Motors product, but they're not shipping it into North America, so let's put it aside. This one here is, Wink is out of New York. We can get these cars in, and we could have these sitting right here on Warren's parking lot. Another one that I like here is the Pickman. They're out of Southern California. I know the owner there quite well, and we could get these here. But the most exciting one really has got to be the little Citroen Ami. And why I particularly like this one is we're told there's a pilot going on in the States here, and they are selling this car for $6,000 US and leasing the battery. This is affordable electric.
That's kind of catches my eye. Maybe that's my price range or something, but $6,000 for a car, and I'm seeing bicycles being sold, electric bicycles being sold for $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 just down the street. So what are some of the features of this car that would appeal, and what is the demographic, do you think, that would be drawn to that car?
Well, if you look at this picture here, first of all, it plugs into a regular 120 plug, so you don't have to worry about electric infrastructure. The cost to run one of these runs about a penny a kilometer. Like, I mean, it's just about nothing. And they do about 50 kilometers in on a full charge. You're using it within an urban environment, and it has a top speed of 40 kilometers an hour. Who does it appeal to? Mostly seniors, first-time drivers. Makes a great second car for, there's a lot of use for it. Now, Canada is at the tail end of the Neighbourhood Electric Vehicle segment on bringing them in. Very, very easy for us to take Canada beyond that. Chemainus can do it.
Yeah. So why does Chemainus appeal to you as a place to really be the starting point, I guess, for these cars?
Well, I started here in Chemainus. I've been here, I arrived 25 years ago, and I've always thought that Chemainus would work for them. This is the type of vehicles that you see down in Sun City, Arizona. But if we had these cars sitting right here, and Warren, you were to toss somebody a set of keys and say, take it out for a drive here, Chemainus is perfect because we've got an outdoor gallery that you can drive around to. So there's a lot of things that Chemainus has got that other places don't. You know, we're on the water, we've got beautiful weather, it's a cute little town here, easy little area to drive within. We don't have a lot of traffic on the streets here, and the demographics are right here. You could not find a better community, I think, than Chemainus, and I don't think you could find a better place to hub it out of than right here at your market.
Well, it would be a nice starting point, that's for sure. So the history of these vehicles has been, let's say it's been stalled in Canada. And why is that? What didn't happen that could have made this a real going concern in Canada and in British Columbia?
So how we've got from there to here is is difficult to explain here. But way back when this car came out 20 years ago, the province of BC brought in bylaw 24.06 of the British Columbia Transportation Act that allowed these vehicles to legally be used on the road here. There are very few municipalities that have adopted this bylaw. North Cowichan is one of them. And I can't criticize them because this car has disappeared. We don't have a lot of them on here. So now we're sitting with a catch-22. The municipality says, well, it's kind of academic bringing them in if we don't have the cars. But the manufacturers are saying, hey, we're not shipping the cars in unless you guys have got the legislation. So that is the dilemma that we're dealing with right now.
So that really is the chicken and the egg situation. But so you've been interested in this issue, this opportunity for a long time. What are you doing now to advance the cause for NEVs?
How we get going here is we've got to get more municipalities to bring the bylaw in. It's just that simple. And I've written up a pilot that we could use here that would definitely put Chemainus at the forefront. And we're going to, we hope, have a few of our esteemed politicians, local politicians here, and be able to discuss that and see if we can get that launched right here in Chemainus. Once we take a lead on it, I think that we're going to get the rest of the municipalities jump on board very, very quickly. But it's trying to find that starting point. And I think that's been the difficult thing right now.
I have a feeling you've been talking to people about this for a long time. And give me a sense of the reaction you're getting. Start with the politicians. What are they saying?
It's been kind of an issue that hasn't really gotten a lot of traction over the years. Now, one would think that it probably would have picked up on the green side, but for whatever reason, it hasn't. I would say that the neighborhood electric vehicle segment has been basically waiting for a recession to come. And now that we're there, these vehicles can be driven for literally 1/10 the cost of a comparative gas vehicle. 1/10 the cost. Wow. This is the time for these vehicles to bring them forward.
We've been sitting here for a while this morning and we've seen people having a look at this car. What's the reaction of the public? What are they telling you?
Mostly curiosity. I would say for the most part, people really don't know what an NEV is. And, we came from a modified golf cart, went to this, but the truth is if you go through the bylaw, there is no restriction on size, no restriction on weight. So every single electric vehicle that you see driving on the road here could become a neighborhood electric vehicle with one change, top speed of 40 kilometers an hour. So even a Ford Lightning or the Tesla Cybertruck, all those can be neighborhood electric vehicles. And that is a misconception for most people. They think they're just a small, tiny little vehicle, but not the case.
Yeah, I think there's likely a feeling amongst some people that it's a glorified golf cart. So what other features do these vehicles have that really put that to rest?
Well, most of the problems that you've got with, and as you know, I've got a Tesla Model S, so and I've had that since 2017. So I know it's been my primary driver, and pretty well everything you hear about that. Yes, there are high costs that's up there. Yeah, you do have a problem with range anxiety and trying to find plug-ins. Those are all things that you don't have to worry about with an NEV. They plug into a regular plug. You're only within an urban environment, and the cost on these things have come down so low now that when you're talking about a $10,000 purchase price, people are pretty excited now. And the real change is now that Tesla's come in with its robo-taxi, which it's yet to be released, I think has all of a sudden elevated the segment, and we were waiting for a company like that to be able to bring it forward. And that's why now is the time. What's
a realistic or maybe it's your optimistic timeline, when could this really come into play in Chemainus or anywhere else in BC?
Warren, let's talk about Chemainus. Next spring here, as soon as the weather's like this, you and I are going to have a new version of that car sitting out here so people can drive it. That's what we want to get to.
So you heard it here first.
Yep.
Next spring we're doing it.
We are.